Most organizations already collect massive amounts of data: sales figures, surveys, support tickets, market research, and dashboards. But the people closest to reality usually appear in these systems only as raw inputs. Someone inside the organization decides the questions, compresses the answers, and interprets what they mean. That is internal intelligence gathered from outside people. But co-intelligence is different. It gives those closest to reality a defined role in discovering, testing, and interpreting what's actually happening. They help ask the right questions, challenge assumptions, examine evidence, and reveal what the internal view has already missed. The reason this is so effective is because these people are not bound by the same reporting lines, career incentives, or internal politics as someone on an organization's payroll. They can still have their own biases, of course, which is why their input must be tested rigorously, but their independent position allows them to see and say what hierarchies often suppress, soften, or actually more often than not never notice. It helps tell the difference between what's fashionable for a time and what's actually the case. Consider a software company that believes its customers are cancelling because of price. The cancellation form seems to confirm it. Internal analysis leads to a price cut, and the company congratulates itself on being customer-led. But the moment that outside implementation partners are brought into a proper co-intelligence process, they reveal that customers struggle during onboarding. Support staff are brought in too, and they explain that the same integration failure has been recurring for months. A selection of experienced users then share the workarounds they've built as a result. Former customers eventually admit that the real reason they abandoned the product was because they never got any real value out of it. All along, price was never the root cause, failed implementation was. Price was just the first and easiest box to tick on the feedback form. What's probably most frustrating and a little painful is that the organization already had nearly all this knowledge. It was just fragmented across different channels so that people who understood the full picture could never assemble everything and test it together. Co-intelligence fixes this. Claims stay connected to their sources, observations are separated from assumptions, conflicting accounts are examined and never buried, and any evidence that challenges the preferred narrative is given serious attention instead of just disappearing into a spreadsheet. This is why every serious CoFormation engagement begins with co-intelligence, establishing or verifying reality. And that's before we even consider moving into governance, creation, stewardship, or advocacy. Without it, the organization risks building on flawed foundations, which is just disastrous. And co-intelligence doesn't stop there, it always continues. For example, a prototype might reveal new constraints, testing may overturn early assumptions, the implementation process can surface new people from outside the organization who hold missing pieces of the puzzle, and so should have been included from the start. The organization keeps learning as it goes, and this knowledge just keeps compounding instead of being lost. This is such a critical decider of success and failure, it deserves its own dedicated mode. The Co in co-intelligence therefore represents quite a profound shift, giving the organization access to intelligence which is far greater than anything it could ever even hope to generate internally. They talk to each other, with the organization present, and the reality emerges much faster and more reliably. But knowing the truth is only the start of CoFormation. It also raises a deeper question. Should that knowledge grant anyone outside the organization real authority over what happens next? And if so, why and how?